Students, in this session of current electricity unit, we will discuss Ohm's law. बच्चों करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूनिट में आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे Ohm's law. Ohm's law you have studied in 10th class also. What is Ohm's law? At constant physical conditions like temperature, pressure, the potential difference applied across a conductor is directly proportional to current, or we can say current is directly proportional to potential difference. So according to Ohm's law, at constant physical conditions like temperature, pressure, the current flows through the wire or a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference applied across the conductor. We remove the proportional by proportionality constant. That proportionality constant is capital R, where capital R is called electrical resistance. Electrical resistance we have discussed in further topic. Electrical resistance is the obstruction offered by conductor to the flow of current. बच्चों इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस क्या है? रेजिस्टेंस आपने 10th क्लास यू हैव स्टडी इन 10th क्लास आल्सो, आपने 10th क्लास में पढ़ा है. रेजिस्टेंस इज द ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन ऑफर्ड बाय द कंडक्टर टू द फ्लो ऑफ करंट. रेजिस्टेंस वो ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन है जो करंट के फ्लो का अपोज करता है. The mathematical symbol of resistance is capital R. SI unit of measurement of resistance is ohm. It is ohm. Symbolic form is that SI unit of resistance. Now, if we want to prove Ohm's law, then there are two proofs. First, experimental proof. In lab, we will do experiment related to proof of Ohm's law. हम लैब में भी ओम्स लॉ का प्रूफ एक्सपेरिमेंटली करेंगे. देखिए, फॉर द प्रूफ ऑफ ओम्स लॉ वी अरेंज द सर्किट एज शोन इन डायग्राम. दैट इज द बैटरी और ए सेल. बिगर लाइन shows the positive terminal and smaller line shows the negative terminal. The negative terminal of battery connected with rheostat. This is the symbol of rheostat. And at the one end, and that is the symbol of ammeter. Ammeter is the device used to measure current, and this is the resistance or the wire is. We arrange the circuit as shown in diagram in. Yes. Now across the resistance we connect the voltmeter. Voltmeter is a device used to measure potential difference. About the voltmeter and ammeter and battery and these symbolic form you have studied in 10th class also. ये सर्किट आपने 10th में पढ़ा है. ये सिंबल सारे 10th में इंट्रोड्यूस कराए गए हैं. हम एक बार और बताते हैं. अमीटर इज द सिंबल ऑफ अमीटर. अमीटर इज ए डिवाइस यूज्ड टू मेजर करंट. दिस इज द सिंबल ऑफ वोल्टमीटर. वोल्टमीटर इज ए डिवाइस यूज्ड टू मेजर पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस अक्रॉस द रेजिस्टेंस. एंड दिस इज द सिंबल ऑफ रियोस्टेट. एंड नाउ व्हाट? How that circuit? Positive terminal of cell connect with one end of ammeter, other end of ammeter connect with positive resistance, and other end of resistance just like a high resistance wire which we provide in the laboratory. Resistance is just any high resistance wire we connect in that portion, and other end of resistance connect with rheostat, and other end of rheostat connect with negative terminal of battery. Voltmeter always connect in parallel and ammeter always connect in series. Look, positive terminal of ammeter, positive terminal of battery connect with one end of ammeter, and other end of ammeter connect with resistance is ammeter always connect in series and voltmeter always connect in parallel. Why ammeter can connect in series? Because ammeter used to measure the current, and to measure the whole current it should be connected in series, and voltmeter used to measure potential difference. To measure the potential difference between 2 points, voltmeter should be connected in parallel. Now, how we verify this? The experimental setup to measure to prove the Ohm's law. बच्चों ये एक एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप है ओम्स लॉ के वेरिफिकेशन के लिए. अब हाउ वी वेरीफाई द ओम्स लॉ? वी change the resistance of circuit by with the help of rheostat, and each time measure the voltmeter reading and ammeter reading. By with the help of rheostat, in the rheostat there is a pointer. We slide the pointer, so resistance of the rheostat change as well as resistance of the whole circuit change. And when resistance change, then you know that according to Ohm's law, current will be changed. We note down the through voltmeter, we note down the voltmeter reading, and through ammeter note down the ammeter reading, and then we note down the value of V upon I. We observe that V upon I always remain constant, and that constant is equal to resistance. इस देखो बच्चों, लेबोरेटरी में लैब में जब हमने एक्सपेरिमेंट सेटअप, आपको इस सर्किट हम लैब में सेटअप किया हमने. वोल्ट बैटरी का पॉजिटिव अमीटर के एक एंड से, अमीटर का दूसरा एंड रेजिस्टेंस से, रेजिस्टेंस कनेक्ट विद रियोस्टेट एंड रियोस्टेट कनेक्ट विद नेगेटिव टर्मिनल, एंड अक्रॉस द वोल्टमीटर कनेक्ट अक्रॉस द पैरेलल अक्रॉस द रेजिस्टेंस कैपिटल आर. नाउ with the help of rheostat, we shift the position of the slider or a pointer in the rheostat, then the resistance change, and each time, suppose we pointer place in this point, note the ammeter reading and voltmeter reading. So at various, we change the again and again change the resistance with the help of rheostat, and note the voltmeter reading and ammeter reading. And we observe that, and each time value of V, note the voltmeter reading and ammeter reading in each time. Suppose voltmeter reading is 10, then ammeter reading is 2 ampere, so 10 upon 2, 5 ohm. Now voltmeter reading become, we again change the resistance by shifting the position of the slider in the rheostat, then voltmeter reading suppose 15, then ammeter reading become 3, then again 50 upon 3, again 15 upon 3 remain constant. Means to say, when voltmeter reading change, ammeter reading will be also change, but the ratio of the V upon I always remain constant. We measure this this value V upon I is the value of resistance of that part, not a resistance of whole circuit. By changing the position of the slider in rheostat, resistance of the rheostat change as well as resistance of the whole circuit change. There is two resistance. First resistance is that, other resistance of the resistance offered by rheostat. So these two resistance are placed in the circuit. There are two resistance connected in the circuit. So we only change the resistance of the rheostat, resistance of the some part of the resistance with the help of rheostat, and then the resistance of whole circuit change. And when resistance of whole circuit change, then ammeter reading will be current in the circuit become change, and when current change, then current flows in that manner. Current flows in that voltmeter have a high resistance and ammeter have a low resistance. For ideal voltmeter, resistance is infinite, and for ideal ammeter, resistance is 0. Ideal voltmeter आपका पैरेलल में कनेक्टेड, और वोल्टमीटर का रेजिस्टेंस हाई रहता है। हाई किस लिए रखते हैं? Why we take the high resistance of voltmeter? So that negligible current flows to the voltmeter, and more and negligible resistance should be flows through the voltmeter, and whole current pass through the resistance in which we want to measure the potential difference. Yes, this is the current. And why we kept the resistance of ammeter low? Ammeter kept low resistance. For ideal ammeter, resistance is low. For ideal ammeter, resistance is 0. For ideal ammeter, resistance is 0, and for ideal voltmeter, resistance is infinite. So, why we kept the resistance of ammeter kept low? Because if ammeter kept resistance high, then due to ammeter resistance, when we connect the ammeter, due to resistance of ammeter, resistance of the circuit increase as well as current will be decrease. So we can't get actual value of current because due to resistance of ammeter current become change. And देखिए ammeter का resistance क्यों जीरो रखते हैं, कम से कम लोअर क्यों रखते हैं ammeter का resistance? क्योंकि ammeter सीरीज में कनेक्ट है, और सीरीज में कनेक्ट है तो यदि ammeter को यदि हम कनेक्ट, इसका रेजिस्टेंस यदि हाई होगा, जैसे आप कनेक्ट करेंगे अमीटर का रेजिस्टेंस भी सर्किट में ऐड हो जाएगा। जब ऐड हो जाएगा तो नेट रेजिस्टेंस सर्किट का बढ़ जाएगा, रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ जाएगा तो ये जो करंट है जो अमीटर लगाने से पहले फ्लो हो रहा था उसकी वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगी। तो अमीटर वो करंट मेजर नहीं करेगा जो एक्चुअल में अमीटर के कनेक्ट होने से पहले फ्लो हो रहा था। इसलिए अमीटर का रेजिस्टेंस 0 से 0 हो, ताकि जब इसे कनेक्ट कम से कम हो, ताकि जब इसे सर्किट में कनेक्ट करें तो इसका रेजिस्टेंस सर्किट सीरीज में कनेक्ट होने से ऐड हो रहा है, तो इसका रेजिस्टेंस कम से कम होगा तो नेग्लिजिबल करंट रेजिस्टेंस इंक्रीज होगा, जिससे कि नेग्लिजिबल करंट में चेंज होगा। और आइडियल हुआ तो रेजिस्टेंस 0 है आइडियल का, तो यदि हम ऐड करें इसे कनेक्ट करेंगे तो रेजिस्टेंस सर्किट में कोई भी चेंज नहीं आएगा। और वोल्टमीटर का रेजिस्टेंस हाई क्यों रखते हैं? देखिए वोल्टमीटर का यूज क्या है, इसके अक्रॉस पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस मेजर करना। जब वोल्टमीटर कनेक्ट नहीं किया था तो माना आई करंट फ्लो हो रहा था, ये करंट आई है, तो इसमें कितना वोल्टेज था? आई इंटू आर। अब यदि आपने वोल्टमीटर कनेक्ट किया पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस मेजर करने के लिए, तो वोल्टमीटर जैसे ही करंट यहाँ पहुंचेगा उसे दो पाथ मिलेंगे, एक पाथ ये एक पाथ ये। तो करंट का कुछ पार्ट इस पार्ट, क्योंकि कुछ करंट इसमें जाएगा कुछ करंट इसमें जाएगा। हम चाहते हैं वोल्टमीटर में अभी इसमें जब कुछ करंट इसमें चला गया तो इसमें जाने वाला करंट बहुत ही कम हो गया, और जब करंट कम हो जाएगा तो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस भी कम हो जाएगा, जिससे कि वोल्टमीटर वो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस मेजर नहीं करेगा जो एक्चुअल में वोल्टमीटर कनेक्ट करने से पहले था, जिससे कि आपको वोल्टमीटर वो एक्चुअल वैल्यू वोल्टेज की नहीं देगा जो वोल्टमीटर कनेक्ट करने से पहले थी, यानी कि जो एक्चुअल में वोल्टेज रेजिस्टेंस के क्रॉस है वो वोल्टमीटर वोल्टेज नहीं देगा, क्योंकि करंट चेंज हो चुका है रेजिस्टेंस में। वोल्टमीटर तभी एक्चुअल वोल्टेज इस रेजिस्टेंस के अक्रॉस प्रोवाइड करेगा जब इसके अक्रॉस करंट चेंज ना हो। और करंट कब चेंज नहीं होगा? जब यहां से करंट आए और जब वोल्टमीटर कनेक्ट किया है तो वोल्टमीटर से बिना करंट पास हुए सारा का सारा करंट इसमें चला जाएगा। ये तभी पॉसिबल है जब इसका रेजिस्टेंस हाई हो। जितना हाई रेजिस्टेंस होता है करंट उतना ही कम फ्लो होता है, और यदि इनफाइनाइट रेजिस्टेंस हुआ तो इससे करंट बहुत ही कम पास होगा। यस, सो व्हाई वी केप्ट, देयर इज 2 पॉइंट्स इन दिस सर्किट, वी शुड नो द एडिशनल। voltmeter always connect in parallel to measure the potential difference across the resistance, and ammeter always connect in series to measure the whole current of the circuit. Yes, so that whole current can flow through the ammeter. Ammeter has negligible resistance, or for ideal ammeter resistance should be 0, and voltmeter should have high resistance and ideal ammeter have high infinite resistance. Why voltmeter should have low resistance? So that when we connect in a circuit, resistance of circuit remain unaffected and current remains same as flow as the previous value. And why voltmeter have infinite resistance? so that when voltmeter connecting parallel, then when current pass through the circuit, negligible current should pass through the voltmeter, and whole current should be flows in same manner as flows before connecting the voltmeter. That's why to measure, in simple manner, if we say to measure the accurate value of voltage and current, ammeter should have low resistance, ammeter and voltmeter should have high resistance. Now come to the main topic. What is the purpose of that circuit? Experimental proof of Ohm's law. How we prove the Ohm's law? With the help of rheostat, change the resistance of the circuit and note the voltmeter and ammeter reading, and each time we note the value of V upon I. We observe that value of V upon I remain constant, and value of V upon I remain constant. That constant gives the resistance. So when V upon I is constant, this shows the experimental proof of Ohm's law. This is the observation. Yes, observation. Yes. Now, so during the proof of Ohm's law, when we plot the reading graph for the reading of voltmeter and ammeter, we obtain the straight line, because V directly proportional to I, and the slope of that line, slope in 11th class, slope we have also discussed. Slope is the angle made by a straight line with the x-axis. Slope of that straight line, delta y upon delta x. Here delta y shows delta v upon delta I. So slope is equal to V upon I. You know that resistance. So slope of that graph shows resistance. What we shows this graph, this slope of this graph shows resistance. So this is the experimental setup, and this is the observation table as we found during the reading of the voltmeter and ammeter, and when we obtain the V upon I, it always remains constant. This constant value shows that V directly proportional to I, and constant shows the resistance. This is the experimental proof of Ohm's law. We again repeat, this proof we will do in the lab by the proper these experimental setup. Now there are two type of resistors. First of all, what is resistor? Those substance which have high resistance called resistor. There are two type of resistor: ohmic resistor and non-ohmic resistor. Ohmic resistor or ohmic resistance or ohmic conductor, all are same thing. Ohmic resistor or a ohmic conductor, those substance which obey Ohm's law. Those substance which obey Ohm's law called ohmic resistor, like copper, aluminium, iron, silver, etc. If we plot the graph for V versus I for ohmic resistor, we get the straight line, and the slope of that straight line gives the value of, what is slope? Slope equal to delta y upon delta x. How we calculate the slope of that straight line? We take a 2 point on that straight line, A and B. Note the coordinate. The coordinate of that I1, which is denoted by x1, and the coordinate of that V1, which is denoted by y1, and the coordinate of that, which is I2, and coordinate of that, this is denoted by x2, and the coordinate of that denoted by V2, and this is y2. Then slope equal to delta y upon delta x. So slope equal to y2 माइनस y1 अपॉन x2 माइनस x1. So slope equal to v2 minus v1 upon I2 minus I1. So slope equal to delta v upon delta I. So slope equal to v upon I. What is resistance? So slope of that graph shows resistance. Yes. Now next topic, non-ohmic resistor. Non-ohmic resistor. And now next topic, non-ohmic resistor. Non-ohmic resistors or non-ohmic conductor. Those substance which does not obey Ohm's law called non-ohmic resistor or a conductor. For example, semiconductor material, semiconductor are the material like germanium, silicon, etc. And the devices made of semiconductor like PN junction diode, transistor, etc. So non-ohmic substance and non-ohmic resistance or non-ohmic resistor are those devices which does not obey Ohm's law. If we take the material, these materials are semiconductor material like germanium, silicon, etc. Semiconductor are those materials whose resistivity or resistance lies between conductor and insulator. These materials are called semiconductor. We will discuss about the semiconductor in separate chapter, yes, in the other class. And the device PN junction diode, transistor, etc. These also does not obey Ohm's law. So these are also non-ohmic resistor. These are also non-ohmic offer non-ohmic resistor. Other example of non-ohmic resistor we can consider filament of bulb and filament of bulb can be considered as a non-ohmic resistor. Now carbon material can also be considered as a non-ohmic resistor. All those substances, all those devices which does not obey Ohm's law offer non-ohmic resistor. Now in ohmic, voltage proportional, potential difference directly proportional to current, but in non-ohmic resistor, if we plot the graph, then if we increase the voltage, current is also increased in non-ohmic resistor, but does not increase with directly proportional. So we get the graph with curve in different type of semiconductor devices or different type of non-ohmic devices, non-ohmic resistor, different type of graph are formed, but all form have a curved shape. Now this is a curved shape. You know that slope of V versus I gives resistance. So slope of this graph also gives resistance, but in the curve at each and every point slope change with time. At each point have different slope in the curve. देखिए नॉन ओमिक रजिस्टर वो डिवाइस है जो ओम्स लॉ ओबे नहीं करती हैं. ओम्स लॉ ओबे कौन नहीं करते हैं? जो जैसे सेमीकंडक्टर मटेरियल आप केमिस्ट्री में भी पढ़ेंगे. हमारे पास अलग से पूरा एक चैप्टर है सेमीकंडक्टर पे. सेमीकंडक्टर एग्जांपल है जर्मेनियम, सिलिकॉन, इंडियम, गैलियम एक्सेट्रा. और इनसे जो डिवाइसेस बनती है जैसे पीएन जंक्शन डायोड, ट्रांजिस्टर एक्सेट्रा, ये भी सब क्या है? नॉन ओमिक रजिस्टर है. इनके अलावा हम नॉन ओमिक रजिस्टर के रूप में फिलामेंट और बल्ब कंसीडर कर सकते हैं. कार्बन को भी नॉन ओमिक में रजिस्टर में ला सकते हैं. नॉन ओमिक रजिस्टर के लिए हम ग्राफ बनाए V वर्सेज I तो कर्व मिलेगा आपको. वोल्टेज बढ़ाने से करंट बढ़ेगा तो, लेकिन डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल के साथ नहीं बढ़ेगा. इसलिए हमें कैसे क्या मिल रहा है? आपका कर्व मिलेगा. अब कर्व मिल रहा है तो कर्व का स्लोप पॉइंट टू पॉइंट चेंज होगा. और इस ग्राफ का स्लोप क्या बताता है, रेजिस्टेंस, तो इस ग्राफ का पॉइंट टू पॉइंट रेजिस्टेंस भी क्या होगा, चेंज होगा। Yes, so slope of that graph change point to point. That's why slope resistance of this graph change have different value at different points. So resistance at a particular point in the graph is called dynamic resistance. In this graph, resistance at a particular point is called dynamic resistance. Suppose at that point A we want to calculate that value of resistance. At the point A, the value of resistance is called dynamic resistance. If we want to calculate the dynamic resistance, we draw the tangent at that point. We draw the tangent at that point. Yes, we draw the tangent at that point. This is the tangent. We draw the A point, and the slope of that tangent gives the value of dynamic resistance. ए पॉइंट पे जो रेजिस्टेंस होगा वो कहलाएगा डायनामिक रेजिस्टेंस। एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे कर्व में जो रेजिस्टेंस मिलता है वो कहलाता है डायनामिक रेजिस्टेंस। अलग अलग पॉइंट का रेजिस्टेंस अलग अलग होगा, आपका वैल्यू डिफरेंट होगी। सो डिफरेंट एट अ पॉइंट ए रेजिस्टेंस इज कॉल्ड डायनामिक रेजिस्टेंस। टू डिटरमाइन द वैल्यू ऑफ डायनामिक रेजिस्टेंस एट पॉइंट ए, वी ड्रॉ द टेंजेंट। नाउ हाउ वी कैलकुलेट द स्लोप ऑफ दैट टेंजेंट, वी टेक 2 पॉइंट्स at that tangent. Draw the normal. The coordinate of that point I1, which is denoted by x1. The coordinate of that point is V1, which is denoted by y1. The coordinate of that point is I2, which is denoted by x2. The coordinate of that point is V2, which is denoted by y2. Now slope of that graph, delta y upon delta x. So slope equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So slope equal to v2 minus v1 upon I2 minus I1. So slope equal to delta V upon delta I. Yes, this what we all this calculation take place at point A. At point A, na? Yes, delta V upon delta I. So slope equal to is V2 minus V1 upon I2 minus I1. We can say that slope of tangent at point A is slope of tangent drawn at point A. Slope of tangent drawn at point A is equal to slope equal to delta y upon delta x. So slope equal to v2 minus v1 upon I2 minus I1. So slope equal to is delta v upon delta I, v2 minus v1 upon I2 minus I1, delta v upon delta I, v upon I resistance. This is called resistance, but this is the value of resistance at a particular point. So this resistance is called dynamic resistance. So R in suffix dynamic. Slope at point A gives the value of resistance, and that resistance is called dynamic resistance for non-ohmic resistor. Yes. So this is the value of dynamic resistance. So students, in this session we discussed about Ohm's law, experimental verification, ohmic and non-ohmic resistor. In next term we will discuss theoretical verification of Ohm's law and concept of resistance and resistivity. Thank you.